since then, the little tag thing said 80,000. I said, what? 80,000.
How much is
RTGS? 80,000 for one cent on dime, right? So then I took it anyway. I said, you know what? It might be cheaper in US dollars. Right. So I take it to the till. I said to the girl, how much is this in US dollars? Sis looks at me. I look at her. She said 21. Oh, can you do something for me? Can you do something for me? 21. I said 21. What? Savage.
Hey guys, this is Anesu, aka Nyati Shonga.
Hello, my name is Chido, aka Chizzy. Wagwan, Advocate Amanda here. Hi everyone, this is Kuda, aka Cooks. Hi, and welcome to As Told by Us, the podcast. This is a weekly podcast where 4 professional millennials discuss living in Zimbabwe and trying to figure life out.
Someone once told us the grass is much greener on the other side.
But from where we're standing, our grass is green. Subscribe, like, share, comment down below.
Hey, hi guys. Welcome back to As Told by Us.
Episode 3.
Oh wow, episode 3.
Pull up. Yeah, we do our own sound effects.
We're our own hype women. That's what's up. So today it's my story, Anesu's story, but I think I'm just gonna hop into a rant real quick.
Yikes.
I'm just gonna hop into a rant real quick. So I remember when we were discussing like topics and all of that, Kuda was like, just, pick something that's really heavy on your chest. And what's really heavy on my chest these days is adulting and money and trying to make a plan in Zimbabwe. So I guess I have to give you like a little history. I think when you're still like a child, when you're still like between the ages of 1 and 20, 26 thereabouts, 24 thereabouts, your parents are taking care of you. They're like giving you money, they're taking you to university if you want to go to university, they're like supporting you, right? And then for us, when we came back from uni, I don't know if you guys felt that, but it was like a slap in the face, for me anyways. Because I came home and then I realized, the bills are on me.
It's different.
I realized the bills are on me. I can't be asking my mom for airtime or whatever. Granted, when I came back, I didn't have a job. So that's where I started from. And coming from like uni where you had like 2 tiny little jobs where you were like making your own money. You come home, you finish, you clap all of the money you'd saved up. Yeah. And then you realize, okay, snap, I need to get a job or I need to make a plan to actually make the money. So my rant today is just, how are you guys surviving? Like, this is a quality check. This is a check to see where your hearts be at. How are y'all surviving?
Are we?
As of, what's the month now? June 2023.
Well, you guys saw that publication about how we're the most miserable country in the world.
Yeah, I got it actually. Let me read it for you.
I remember and I was like, hey, no lie. No lies detected. No lies detected.
What? For me, it was everybody who was like, well, how do you measure happiness? How do you know what misery is like? Look at me.
Yeah.
Look at me. Misery.
I am misery.
What do you mean? And I feel like every millennial in Zim right now is really thinking, what in the hell are we going to do?
Like, we're all easing.
And you make that, like, you have to start like making those life choices, right? If I go, where can I go and what can I do? Right.
And why?
Yeah.
So if I'm here, we're lawyers, we're professionals, but desperate to leave, are you going to take the job in the UK as a nurse or, you know, are you going to give away, leave your profession just for something better? Or at least a different country, not anything better. I personally don't think that's better. But if you leave, what are you giving up?
That's true.
And how are you going to survive?
Guys.
But then you also want to be home. You want to be with Nana Mama.
For me, like,
they're getting old. You know, they're getting pains. So you want to be there. You don't want to
be there. But for me, it's also like, look, I want to be there. But mate, I need to be able to take care of you. Because the older you get, the less capacity you have to make your own money. And God forbid you get sick, you're going to need to be hospitalized or for whatever reason. Nigga, how am I going to afford? How am I going to afford to take you to avenues? The avenues even, and avenues is already struggling, you know? How am I going to afford to take you to Milton Park Hospital, for example? If I stay here, it's gonna be that's a shameless plug. I mean, but like, actually, wait, who am I even plugging? I don't know, but like, it was just a name drop. But my point is, like, I want to stay, but at the same time, if I stay, we're all going to be easing, you know? I feel like maybe, is it not better to find some other plan. Make a plan, bro, so that I can support people back home. And then eventually just come back, you know, whatever. But, it's
a tricky one because I think I'm also there where I'm just thinking, if I stay here, what does my life look like in the next 10 years? Or five, let's not even say 10, let's say 5. Let's just say 5. So it's kind of tricky. It's like, should I leave? But at the same time, it's not like we're speaking from like a place of privilege.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking,
what makes it so
difficult. Yeah. We're also speaking from a place of privilege. Because when I was thinking of the topic, I just thought we're actually so blessed, guys, to actually have a job. I was looking at stats and, Zimbabwe is not looking good.
Misery, guys.
It's misery. Oh, sorry. I had said I have the thing. People were asking, how do you calculate? So the misery index is a crucial tool for understanding economic distress. Yes. And inflationary pressures in various countries around the world. It provides a comprehensive overview of the economic well-being of nations by combining factors such as unemployment rates and inflation rates.
What's our unemployment rate? Is it still 95?
Is it 95 or 99? 100%.
No, because it's hella high.
Because some jobs don't even count. Like, come on. Come on.
That's
come
so
on. Yo,
that's like 8 hours, and then what do you have to like
nothing
for?
Experience.
Like everyone is
that growth,
side hustling, trying to do this because you can't sustain yourself from one thing. What is the point?
I mean, to the point where Zimra workers have decided to have asked
the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Right? Like,
but
it makes sense. It's like, why do I need to work? Oh, they had requested that they work only a few days a week, so that the rest of the days they can go and do their side hustle.
Damn.
And this is Zimra.
Low income.
This is Zimra, hey? So imagine, like, everybody else. It's
wild.
It's wild. Like, how have we normalized hustling?
Struggling.
Yeah. Because you find that a lot of people, their main income actually comes from hustling.
That's true.
And it's become this like weird Zimbabwean badge of honor.
Right.
We survive. You know, we make the most of a situation. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, not everyone is an entrepreneur. Like, not everyone has that gusto to be selling. Because at some point, I know I was like, let me find something to do, guys. Let me. But then, honestly and truly, I'm not an entrepreneur. Like, my parents took me to school because they were like, this one, she needs,
in a certain
you know,
kind of system.
yeah, I fit into a certain, but like the situation here just makes you have to make a plan. You have to find a way. All right, moving on from the deepness.
This is
I have questions.
Right.
Okay, so going back to our being blessed and everything, I'm sure a few people actually do have jobs and they're like thinking, what do I do with my money and all of that? So my first question is, what's your relationship with money?
Ching ching.
I love it. I love money. Money loves me.
In the words of Kanye Bao, money finds me.
I need it. I love it. I want it.
Just comes to me.
What?
I've actually taken a lot of time to really try and design this relationship with money and understanding it, because soon into your realization that okay, you're an adult, you kind of have to actually understand how money works and how all those things work in the grander scheme of things, and nobody's gonna teach you at school. You're gonna have to just wake up one day and have a salary and you have to know what to do with it. I remember my first time just like looking at taxes and thinking, what on earth is all of this? I was so upset. I was so angry because I was like, what? All of you, have you opened? Like, I remember saying to my parents, you've been paying this much all along. What? And it you kind of have to know about those things. I don't know when we're supposed to learn about taxes, but that's really important. I mean, we're talking about Zimra, and I think for many Zimbabweans, it just flies over your head. So
I can tell you now, I don't think a lot of people have ever done their own tax assessments.
No.
You know you're supposed to hand those things in.
Yeah.
But first of all, I don't think anybody actually ever does.
Does anybody ever do that here?
And get, because what are you going to get? Tax break or what? But I don't think people know how to do it. I don't think people have ever done it, even though it's a requirement that you should do it every year.
That's more like
for yourself. Everybody says, okay,
like
but I pay my tax, right? Like, I pay my VAT when I swipe in supermarkets. I pay my payee tax. I pay my AIDS levy.
Guys,
I pay my NASA. What else do you want from me, ZimDev? Like, what else do you want from me?
There's so much. I think this is a very, like, financial literacy, like, just to answer your question. I think, as Amanda said, I've really also had to just take the time out to be like, okay, this is it. How am I going to navigate my finances? I mean, I could say I've always been, like, very frugal already. Like, I'm a frugal heart. Even for myself.
you won't even buy yourself anything. But it's like, okay, that's literally working student jobs.
Oh my God, is this a story?
Yes, I'm exposing you.
Oh my God.
Where it's like a negotiation. Okay, but anyway, continue.
Yeah, but I've always, I think, to be honest, it's helped me in a sense, because then if I have a budget, I'll sit down and be like, okay, it may not be like on a Excel spreadsheet or whatever, but if I'm saying I'm not spending on this, that, and that, I will not spend, And I think it's actually helped me. It's a bad trait, but it's actually helped me to survive in this country.
I wouldn't say it's a bad trait. It's just like it's discipline. You've always had financial discipline.
Yeah.
I just want to know if that's because of one of two things, right? The first one being, is it because you are a firstborn So you're supposed to be,
Yeah.
organized, responsible, be, you're the next person, right? Or is it because in your mind you have, I hate using this word, but like scarcity mindset? So now you feel like it's not going to come back.
Yeah.
So let me be frugal.
I think both of those apply, but scarcity mindset is a thing. I feel like, guys, 2008 traumatized me. I will say this time and time again. That shit traumatized me.
To be honest, we're the generation who were like young but old when the
we felt it. We
remember.
We understood.
But you were too young to have any.
I had no responsibilities.
Exactly.
But I could get pocket money, but the value of my pocket money today was different tomorrow.
Yeah.
So,
and we can see there's nothing in the shops.
so I would say really scarcity mindset is like shit. I don't want to get to a point where I run out. So I'm going to make sure that with whatever I have.
Guys, I'm going to expose my family a little bit.
Okay.
Listen. That time was so scary.
What, 2008?
I remember, there was nothing, right? So obviously the mothers in the family they said we need to make a plan, right?
Shout out
to the mommies.
So the mothers, there was about like four mothers, and they all their kids because the daddies were staying and they were not going to take care of these kids. So the mother said, us and the kids, Asambanu, Mozambique.
Right. Yeah.
We went to Mozambique. On the way in Mutare, guys, we slept in a convent. I'm telling you, in Mutare we slept in a convent. Because one of my aunts is a nun.
So she's like, to your arms.
So we were like,
guys, use the parachute.
We need accommodation, bro. Oh no, it was big. Because listen, every month, every little dime that we have has to go to buy groceries. It has to go to buy supplies.
You need to save on a coma.
So you want to go get Holiday Inn for all these 20 people? No. Slept in a convent. And also because I was at convent, so it was so traumatizing.
You're within the nunnery.
Face to face with him now.
Sharing the bathroom. Oh my god.
Dead.
Guys, I could never see nuns again.
Could not.
Anyway, but the point is, I was just every little thing that we had, and then we get there, you already know that they were angry. They were like the Mozambicans were not happy with us. Yeah, like they were.
Who isn't angry? Zimbabweans.
Because remember, like for guys,
that green passport.
Because you have to, like, for us, we could afford to go cross over and feel like this is cheap. You know what I mean? Like, that's why we went to ESA. We went to like, this is cheap for us. So now you're going to take a lot. Right? And you're leaving them with nothing, and already they can't afford it. You can, but they can't. So now they have to do it a little at a time, and you're coming here getting cartons of my food. So they didn't like us at all. So you could tell there was energy. There was just energy every time we stopped by like security, but even by the border. And then when we got to the shop, because it was supposed to be a quick trip, it was like in one day, out same day. Just buy and come out and cross back to the convent. Right? So then they will have those people that want to, let's help you, put things in the car. They were thugging things. They were taking. And you can't fight them.
It's just women and children.
It's just women and children. Because all the men stay behind.
All the men stay behind.
Other niggas were comfortable at home. These hands were in the bundu fighting for groceries. With all them kids. All of them, no, that's not right.
Guys, can we just talk briefly about this just women and children thing? Like, why have you noticed that as a young woman, you kind of need to be escorted in this environment to be taken seriously? It's just
That's so
a
true.
grown-up person is trying to go about their day.
Oh yeah.
It's actually wild.
Yeah.
So wild.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I think I have the same sentiments with Chido about money.
Okay.
Like, I have a problem, guys. I genuinely have a problem, and it's taken me like close to like about 2 years to realize, me, I have a problem. So what happens when I get my monies and whatever, I would rather not spend it. I like literally take that money and put it aside and just say, okay, at some point we're gonna run out of groceries, so I need this money. At some point we're gonna need this, so I need this. So I've literally, since like 2 years back, I just put my money aside, and it's gotten so bad to a point where, because when I put my money aside, I give my mom. she's my safe. She's my bank.
She's your man.
No, my mom is like, babes, do you know that you actually have this much money?
Okay.
Why are you not saying? Why are you not spending? No, it's actually good because she literally just tells me, what are you doing with your life? You haven't bought clothes. You haven't gone on any trips. You're hoarding money. So it's just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to work on
my
it.
bank too, right? But you also know, right? Again, even though yes, I do understand that there is a scarcity problem, mindset, right? I actually think my sister and we grew up in the same household, right? We were raised the same. How she spends money and how I spend money, though, are not
The difference. Yeah.
because see, she has abundance mindset because she can come ask me, or my mom, and so
She's got
but
options.
if hers ends, she's still got options.
Yeah.
So she can afford to spend and it definitely returns because when she asks for it,
She gets it.
right? But me, as an older sister, as the firstborn, it's me giving her,
Yeah.
right? So it's making sure that we all get enough. Because then also mama's coming with like, how far with this?
Yeah.
How far with
Black
that?
tax,
You know? You also need to help around the house. You can't just sit there and eat your mukwan's money, but we're old. So you obviously need to help pay some bills. Maybe even take up, if you're still there, you might end up taking up all the bills.
Yeah.
Right? But now you have to be organized and you have to be responsible because there's a lot of bills to be paid. Right? And it won't end. You get married, are you not going to take care of your mother anymore? No. Right? So now you're buying groceries for here, groceries for mom, groceries for his mom.
Yikes.
You know? You're now having to be even more responsible, right? Even if he makes it, you're the one that distributes it, right? So you always have to be very organized. So then you have to be a budget.
With my measly $150.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the last question was just like something for our listeners. Listeners? Yeah, listeners, tribe, whatever. So in terms of like saving, I know you guys have like implemented things in your lives, either to save or to get money in the long run, or any money tips. So this is just like money tips. Like, what money tips would you give someone who's living in Zimbabwe right now with the inflation? I'll start.
Do you want us to be cancelled?
What? Just like try to keep it legal.
Okay.
Try to keep it legal. I've got one. So I don't go and buy in supermarkets. I'm sorry. The supermarkets are... I foresee them not functioning in the next few years because their prices are ridiculous. And I don't buy this. So I buy in tuck shops and I buy wholesale. Yeah.
So here's me, right? Toothpaste finished. Gotta go get toothpaste. All right, your girl only uses Sensodyne, so go to the aisle. Sensodyne. The little tag thing said 80,000. I said what? 80,000.
How much is
RTGS 80,000 for one Sensodyne, right? So then I took it anyway. I said, you know what? It might
need to
be
brush my
cheaper
teeth.
in US dollars. Right. So I take it to the till. I said to the girl, how much is this in US dollars? Sis looks at me. I look at her. She said 21.
Oh!
Can you do something for me? Can you come to the house for me? 21. I said 21. What?
Savage.
Literally, I literally said, this is savage. 21. So, you know what? I said, you know what? It's fine. I'll take the extra trip. I'll go down to Chizzy. Go to Caterwise. I go into Caterwise.
And it's
My
much
little old thing costs $5. My Sensodyne is $5.
Versus the 21.
This is 21.
hectic.
And Pick and Pay.
Time and effort lost, but yeah.
You won't see me in a supermarket, guys. I'm sorry. They need to fix their lives.
My tip is a little experiment that I did, which would be to invest in the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange using your excess RTGS dollars. You know, with investing, I think for me, a lot of what I've read around finance and also just like podcast, you know, you want to balance your savings with investing and things that are going to become assets that are going to multiply your money rather than, you know, just like saving it.
Yeah.
So especially when you have a currency that's like, you know, rapidly moving all the time, would you rather have, you know, RTGS in your account losing value or shares in a company? So I started that, say maybe about 2021. It's interesting because it's easier than it sounds like. It's actually a lot easier than it sounds like. And you just kind of just have to just wake up and create an account. There's an app called C-Trade. Here's a plug. Just go create a profile and then you can actually start trading right there and then.
Yeah.
And you can literally be 16 and do this. The difference is you're like actually owning a piece of something, which hopefully will come to something, or you know, but I don't know. At least I thought that was something I could see, and how is that going to be in the next 10 or so years? Which is obviously, I think it's also a bit of a luxury to be able to get into that mindset where you're like, I'm gonna put this much aside.
that far.
Because everybody has pressing needs.
Yeah.
And very quickly you can be just, you know, paycheck to paycheck, breakthrough to breakthrough, and then you actually haven't built anything.
Yep.
Obviously the ideal would to be like buying houses and stuff, but
Guys, you do what you can.
Yeah.
They say what? What do they say? Tana, Zono, Shigira. Like at our age, you can't. Yeah, Tana. Like pick fruit that you're close to. Like you don't need to get a ladder. Just like
damn.
Oh, yeah.
Tana, Zono, Shigira. Yeah.
Good job.
So for our age, like it makes sense. Like invest in stock exchange where you know your money is going somewhere.
Yeah, so it's something that's like weirdly accessible. Like you know, like I'm telling you, it's as easy as EcoCash. I've just bought shares in OK.
But like, so for me though, I've always been a saver. Right. I know how to save. Extreme savings, right? I've always, and it's so easy to save, right? Because there's so many actually, I'm coming back and having to figure out where to put my money. It was very I had to speak to a lot of people, right? And, you know, some money advisors. I've got friends that are money advisors, wealth advisors, right? So then they can tell you what actual services they are. You know, there are places that you can go, asset management companies, even with low, like, I don't have a lot of money here, right? But I can afford this much. They'll put it somewhere for you.
Yeah.
It'll gain interest whenever you want it. You can take it.
Yeah.
But you know where it is. You know that it's safe. It accumulates interest, right? And you've done nothing. You've just put money in something,
Yeah.
right? They then do all the investing and, you know, your returns come back. But they come back for you. And it's so easy because a lot of places, I started something when I was in uni, right? I opened an old mutual tax-free saving thing, right? It would do debit orders.
Also, every month.
Every
it's like
month it goes twing, and I'm not doing anything. It literally, and it will wait until you've got money. If your account was on zero today, I'll come back tomorrow. I'll come back until you've got the money. It will not take for every month.
Yeah.
You know, and so you're not in control of that, unless obviously switch it off. You're not in control. You're not in control of that. So at least you are forced to save.
Yeah.
Right. And you know where your money is. They send you statements. They tell you this is how much you have this month. This is how much interest you have this month. You can save. I mean, invest, yes, but if you're risk averse and you don't want to risk losing money in something else, just put it in a very safe,
interest bearing
space. But I think also people feel like going to a money advisor could be expensive. It sounds like it's expensive. You know what I mean?
For me, it's more trust issues. Hey, like
Wow.
part of me feels like I wouldn't trust them with like all my money.
Yes, you could diversify
because you're always just a day away from a scandal.
That's true.
That's
very volatile here.
Okay.
I would say I think I agree with Amanda. Actually, I agree with all of you. Hey, I've also started, investing. Again, like what Amanda said, like the little that you have, you'll actually find that, over time, when you then look at the numbers, you're like, oh, actually, the money that I put in to these shares a year ago, it's actually, the value has increased in a sense.
I love getting dividends.
Yeah.
Oh, I love getting
It's like a couple of cents, but it's just like, oh, it's just, it's money that I didn't have yesterday.
Yeah. And I would just say, like, from a frugal girl's perspective, I think, like, just a budget is so important.
Yeah.
And also just knowing, like, the difference between what you need and what you want.
Amen to that.
I need to get what I want.
No, but like, okay, because if you're working with a really tight budget, right, where you can't save a third of your money, at the very least, like, just make sure that you're making wise decisions in terms of your spending. So if you need to get groceries, don't go and buy groceries and pick and pay. I mean, in the supermarket. Don't go and buy groceries in a supermarket. Buy them elsewhere where they're cheaper. So just knowing that, like, okay, look, I'm craving sushi or pizza, but age, yes,
I can't afford
it. I don't need it.
You just reminded me of some financial advice I got from a financial professional, which is the sooner you start tracking your expenses, the better.
Yeah.
The discipline is hard, but then it makes it so much easier when you're like at the end of the month, and at the end of like a long period, you're able to be like, okay, my money is going to this and that and that and that.
But that's true.
And there's a lot of apps that actually make it a lot easier to do that, where you just get your wallet app, like there's so many, and just make a habit of tracking your spending.
Yeah.
Because already mentally that just shifts a lot of things. You might not get that cup of coffee.
Ish, but
But
guys.
why am I limiting myself? It's my money. I work hard for
But
it.
look, you don't need
I
to.
want the reason why I'm working is so I can afford the coffee.
Yeah.
So
You can maybe buy a French press and ground coffee rather than paying for a barista to put a heart in your cappuccino.
I know I use
how to make a
envelopes.
cappuccino.
I think we talked about that, Kuda. There's a time we were like sharing and whatever. So I use envelopes now. So I'll say, okay, what do I need for groceries? I put that money in groceries. What do I need for this? I put that money.
I do that too.
So I have an envelope for expenses.
Yeah.
If there's nothing like my nice things, if there's no money in there for the coffee that month, there's no money.
Yeah.
But if there is,
But are
then
you
I'm
making it a
definitely
priority to make sure that there is money in
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Or you putting
what
other
I
things
do is
above
that
it?
I have to divide and make sure that each envelope gets money.
Yeah.
So that works if you are working somewhere, you get money every month, jiggy, your company is treating you nice. But if you are, why are you like this,
As I said, you want us to get.
So not like every month, but every time you do get the money, just think, okay, what haven't I put, what envelope haven't I given money to? Because if you don't do that, you'll never have money in the nice things envelope.
Yeah.
And that won't work. It won't
I
work.
feel like I'll always have money
In the nice things.
Yeah, you must.
That's life
Prioritizing
insurance. Imagine dying with like the biggest amount of money that you've ever made.
Yeah. And you didn't chow it. Oh my god.
Imagine.
I'd be upset.
Oh,
You know that relative.
And then people just
There's that
come to
relative
you.
that comes and
But
finds
guys,
the
I'm likely to die like that, hey.
you know, there's that
Can you
one.
write a will? Have you do a will?
No, I need to write one. Ish,
Right,
but,
guys,
ish.
I have one.
But what positions do I have again?
Huh?
what am I getting?
Okay.
Girl, I can't tell you. If I tell you, I gotta kill you. Sorry. Okay, guys. So this week's interesting things that happen around the world. Okay. In the Netherlands.
Ooh.
Did you guys watch the movie The Delivery Man with Vince Vaughn?
Yeah.
No, please tell me you watched it.
Yeah, I have. Doesn't
Did
matter
you
what
watch
you
it? How
guys
did you watch it? Oh my god.
It doesn't matter what these guys.
What's the blurb?
I can't tell you what the blurb is. but
No, wait,
I
I'm gonna have to tell you. So,
What's the blurb?
in the movie, this guy, Vince Vaughn, right, was donating his sperm, right, to clinics.
Okay.
Right, and then obviously he was then fathering children,
I think I might have.
right? He was then fathering children. So it turns out he had fathered at this point when the movie starts 550 kids,
Okay.
close to 600. Right, so now they were all curious to
Father of
find their
nations.
father. Right, they were now curious to find their father. So then he went on this whole spree, and he found all his kids. You know, and now he had a whole family, right? And then became a thing where, so he didn't want to have his identity told because it's close to,
Yeah.
he signed an NDA, don't tell my business. But then his kids wanted to know who he was.
Oh.
So whose interest comes first? Your NDA with the clinic or our right to see our father? Anyway, watch it. But the point is, right, in the Netherlands, a real life delivery man.
champagne showers.
His name is Jonathan Jacob Meyers. He's 41. He donated sperm to several different clinics, right? And it is said that he has now fathered 550 children. Right. So he got a fine. Right. He got a fine of $110,000.
Why are you finding me?
Because he had broken the law because I think he was supposed to only donate a certain amount of time anyway, right? But he didn't. He was exchanging the clinics he took things to. So here, 5 here, and he wasn't just local. He also went international
what is
with
the
his firm.
motivation?
That's
Don't you
right.
get paid?
So now he has been banned from donating any more sperm in fears that he is increasing the risk of accidental incest.
Yeah, keep it in your pants.
Right? Because what happens if you fall in love with your brother? So yeah, and then he was fined 110,000. That's in the Netherlands. Okay. And then in India, a government official who actually is a food inspector. I didn't understand what part of government you are, but food inspector.
Like to license places.
Yeah, go and license places. It's
And a
Safety. No.
Anesu Studio Harare. Food license.
Okay. Anyway, so this government official had just bought a phone. The sir was taking selfies by some reservoir dam thing, right? Phone drops water as is. But because he's a government official, he then went and said, I want this reservoir drained.
I read this.
Right? I need this reservoir drained because my phone, I've got secret government things on it. Right? I need to fetch my phone. I need to fetch my phone. Anyway, listen. Then people said, no, stupid. Sorry, we're not doing that. Right? Yeah. Then he hired diesel pumps to drain the water. Guys, there was 4.1 million liters of water in this reservoir. He drained it. It took 3 days. The man got his phone
and put it in a bag of rice.
It was dead. So they said they even took it to they took it to like the store that he bought the phone from. But like he had bought an OG, like original. It was like apparently it cost what? It says. The phone cost 1,000 euros. Wow. He bought it from the store. All right. So they took it back to the store. Can you fix this? We've got a warranty, whatever. The store said, no, it's been underwater for 3 days. Only God can do that. What are you? No. So
it's giving abuse of war.
It's giving.
Okay. And then in Brazil, right? This man's wife was in a beauty pageant, and she lost. She was run out. She didn't lose. She was run out. Right.
She was the first loser.
She was the first loser. The husband of this lady runs on stage, snatches the crown of the winner.
I'm gonna let you finish.
She shatters it into pieces. He took it and then no. If my wife ain't getting it, nobody's getting it.
That's some Kanye.
Nobody's getting it. So
love.
Shame. And then the song, the very, very last one, it's so sad. It's really sad, but people must know what's happening in the world, guys. You must also educate the peoples.
Okay.
So in Sudan, you know that there's now a war that's happening in Sudan between the government
like this.
Between the
I'm even sad. I'm already like.
So the war between the government and the rebels, right? There is an orphanage where they are over 100 babies. But because of the war, they can't get supplies. So now the babies are dying.
Why would you do this to us?
People must know what's happening around the world, not just all the funny things, but also the real things, guys. Yeah, so that's a shame. It's very sad though because all the medics, there's no supplies that are coming or going, so they're either starving to death or they're just getting sick.
And that's all, folks.